Good morning, trading fam. Well, this morning I got up and started to study the charts as I do, just take a quick peek at what is going on. And I spotted something that I think is significant on the silver chart. I'm going to show you what that is today. And it essentially tells us exactly where we need to start looking to buy silver again if you're interested in that trade or even uh, long-term hold. I have a good area for you that I think will help you out in understanding and navigating this market where silver is going to go. We're not really going to talk about the dollar in this video. Maybe we'll review it real quick because that helps us get a bead on what's going to happen with silver in the future. So I might just touch on that quick, but nothing more to say. The dollar has crashed below that channel. You can view that in previous videos. 19 years we've been in that, and I expect it to continue to get weaker and weaker and weaker. Um, Precious metals are doing their thing right now. Massive paper attack on precious metals, and that is why we see such a crash in silver, especially, which is the focus of this video. When will that power to manipulate precious metals expire? I think it's coming very soon, guys. So be ready, and that's what I want to show you in this video. Nothing new with stocks. We've been using the S&P 500, and it will continue to go lower, in my opinion. 6,100 is the key there. Maybe I'll just touch on that real quick just to keep you up to date. Bitcoin is doing its thing exactly as I expected. We are crashing, still not at our final target. I might just touch on those things, guys, just to keep you entertained. But right now, the focus of this video is silver. So without further ado, let's get into the charts here, and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. All right, so I'm going to start off on something different here. This is the metalschart.org. It compares the price of Western spot, which is largely manipulated by paper, to the Shanghai spot, which is a real physical value for their silver in US dollars. All right, what I want us to look at here very quickly is to see these two lines. The top is the Shanghai spot. The bottom gold is the Western spot, which is, again, manipulated by paper. And look what's happening here, guys. Looks like we're coming to a point of parity very soon where these two lines touch each other again. Why is that significant? Well, I want to keep this as reference for the back of your minds. Right here on November 28th, these two lines touched. In other words, Shanghai spot and Western spot reached a point of equilibrium, equal price. And then over here on the 9th of December in 2025, again, they touched. And okay, so keep in mind, it looks like we're coming together and we're going to touch again very soon. Keep that in your peripheral. All right, so with that being said, let's just start here on the dollar, not to confuse you, but the dollar really has broken this channel. And this is just to confirm that precious metals are not going to stay suppressed. I mean, this paper attack, the illusion, this game, this con game that JP Morgan and big banks are going to play with us is going to end, and it's going to end badly for them and good for anybody who has the courage and a knowledge to enter precious metals very soon here. All right, that's my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, and maybe they keep this game going a little bit longer. They've kept it going for decades. So who knows? Maybe I'm underestimating their power. But I think the cracks are opening up. People are beginning to see the games that the elites are playing in terms of power, in terms of politics, and in terms, of course, economy, where it all starts. All right. So the dollar has broken two significant areas here. This trend line, which comes from 1983, and the bottom of this 19-year channel, which we are now testing. Now, we could rub up against the bottom side of that channel, maybe even touch this 1983 descending trend line again. But my bet is that we don't go back in that channel and we don't go back above this trend line. Again, could be wrong, could be absolutely wrong. This is just where I'm placing my bet. My bet is that the dollar continues to get weaker, and I think precious metals is showing us that. All right. So let's dive into, first of all, I talked about this in the last chart, the gold silver ratio pre 1932. The gold silver ratio was always 20 to 1 to 25 to 1. And we have not got there yet. I think we will get there. But that is this is the way you trade silver, guys, because this price has been suppressed. The average, this top white line here is the VRVP point of control. So the average just in view right now, the point of control says the average ratio was 88 to 1. That's paper contracts has suppressed the true price of silver. But that's not what we're going to focus on today. I've got two trend lines drawn below that where I think the gold silver ratio is going to end up. And look at this. I drew one of those lines from, remember that November 28th date? All right. Let me get my pivot zones indicator out of the way here. It's not helping really, other than, yeah, no, it's just creating noise here at the moment. So November 28th, that was this day right here, I believe. Yeah. All right. So that's this red candle here. All right. And that is actually a very good point of resistance right there. The 78 to 1 gold silver ratio. I don't think we will ever go above that again, meaning the price of silver will get that low again. The other one I drew here starts on December 9th. Do you remember those two dates from that Shanghai spot gold comparison chart? All right. So that gives us a good target right here where we can start to look to re-enter silver if you're interested in this trade. And why not, guys? I would definitely be interested in this trade. Why not pick up, trade your worthless currency, your meme currency, for something the Fed cannot print, which would be tangible assets such as gold and silver. Why not pick up silver? That is something that the Fed cannot print, the Fed cannot deceive you on. This is a great target, a great area for entry. Now, what does that mean in terms of price? Let's take a look at silver. And again, I've already drawn these lines out for you. I'm going to get rid of VRVP because for now, I might put it back up there because that's going to distract us. All right, I've already drawn these lines. I'm going to type in target here. So this is the spot price of silver, Western spot price of silver right now. And we've dropped below this 50-day moving average. All right. And I think our target down is going to be $54 to $60. I think that is an excellent location to start your entries if you're interested in silver. And again, these two lines, all right, where did I start here? Well, that's October. And that's a good area of support right here. So this green candle right here is that November 28th candle. That's where Western spot coincided with Shanghai spot. And then again here on December 9th, another good area of support. One of these candles is the December 9th candle, and it just lines up with good areas of support. You can see those candles touch several times before they take off. And right here again, this November 28th line, look at, we touched here, I don't know what date that was, the 13th of November, and then back here again in October. All right, providing us a very good target for silver between the price of $54 and $60. Now, if you really want to get aggressive, I traded AGQ here, which is ProShares Ultra Silver, made 20% on this particular bounce. And you can see, so that was a quick trade in and out. In fact, I didn't even post that trade. I just, I traded my dub account actually, which I can't talk too much about on this video because this goes to TradingView and house rules. I'm not supposed to talk about other accounts or even link to other accounts, but it's my copy trade account. And I'm really just beta testing that anyways, but all of a sudden I'm picking up followers. I haven't even told my followers on Substack about my dub trading account that it was active, but I've got followers there that are following me on the trading account because I'm doing so well during this crash and this pullback, being able to predict what has been coming. So you can see here, the AGQ price was all the way up. You know, we topped out at around $430, crash, massive crash all the way down here. Take a look at where we are right now. Couple bear flags right here. That's why I exited AGQ right here for the 20% profit, because I could spot this bear flag. Another bear flag right here, meaning we're going to probably go down. And of course, with these ultra accounts, you need to be very careful in and out on these guys because of the deterioration of the value. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but it does deteriorate. So we could actually come below this bottom support and touch our 200-day moving average before this particular crash is all over. But again, these two lines are the October 28th and December 29th line, meaning that once again, this is a great target area to begin your entry. And in this case, you may want to even go a little bit lower. Don't get too aggressive with this because, because silver will take off again, guys, and it may take off before you're ready. And I don't want you to get FOMO and try to play catch up here. But we could come down to that 200-day moving average at $90. I would say anywhere between $100 and $120 is a great place to enter into silver here. All right, so that is my synopsis, my hypothesis on silver and where we're going. Everything else is business as usual. Again, guys, as I said on the dollar chart, again, we could continue to float up a little bit, but eventually we're going down on the dollar. The dollar will continue to lose value. The cracks in the system are showing, and this will carry over to larger banks. They can't keep up this game. It's just not possible. And every fiat currency throughout history has always ended very badly, and usually in hyperinflationary depression or recession. And that's what this chart is also indicating to me as the dollar continues to lose value. S&P 500, which is what we're tracking here, again, came tested the top of this channel. I drew this trend out over 3 weeks ago. That is exactly the price action that has occurred. Of course, on Friday, we had a big, I'm going to call it manipulated, because markets don't just boost up like that on Fridays. That's not usual. So there's low volume, and the manipulators, the market makers, are at it again, making you think that this is going higher. It will eventually, but I think we are going down to this 6,100 area at least, possibly, if I zoom out here, to the bottom of this channel, which at this moment in time is all the way down at 3,500. No, sorry. Scratch that, 5,100. Yeah, I was looking at a different trend line. 3,500 is a trend. Guys, honestly, if we went down to 3,500, we would still be in a bull market, because that bottom trend line here was not meaning to talk about this. But if I zoom out, that comes all the way back here from 2009. I don't think we're going to go there. But just so you know what I'm referencing here, that white trend line comes from 2009. I think we're just going to the mid of this channel at 6,100, or possibly the bottom of this channel around $5,500. But right now, this is where I'm focused on, 6,100. The S&P should pull back, and I'm still short on a trade here until we reach that level. All right, and I told you I would just quickly look at Bitcoin as well. Again, Bitcoin is doing its thing. No surprises here. That big pump that we had, that big green candle, I told you, and analysts are going to start calling the bottom, and they have. They said, 60, what was the low? 60,000. Yeah. They're calling the bottom. It could be right. I don't think so. I think if anything, we pump back up to 82,000 and then drop again. You guys know, and I've been saying it for weeks, months, that my target is, this is a generous target, 40 to 50,000, but it really is somewhere between 38 and 42,000 if I'm being most accurate. But that's not the purpose of this video anyways. All that to say, yeah, I'm still bearish on Bitcoin until, and this is the big exception here, guys. If we can break back above this neckline at right around 82,000, confirm it on the daily, then confirm it on the weekly, I start to turn bullish again. But until that, I am very bearish Bitcoin, and 82,000 is the level. That is my indicator. I've talked about Bitcoin ad nauseum in past posts and videos, so I'm not going to say much more on that. Just that you can expect they may pump it up to 82,000 right at that level, trick everybody into thinking that 60,000 was the bottom, and then we go down for a ride again. All right, guys, enough on that. I just wanted to give you an update on what is going on here, and especially give you some good entry prices to look at for silver if you're interested in those trades. Hope you found this video helpful. Peace, y'all. We'll talk to you in the next.